In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on August 6, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. San Francisco Giants versus Pittsburgh Pirates. The San Francisco Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates are wrapping up their 3-game divisional set on Wednesday afternoon, with everything on the line in this finale that could swing the series either way under the afternoon sun. It's time for some midweek daytime ball, and here's the take on the San Francisco Giants squaring off against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Giants got it done on Tuesday with an 8-1 thumping of Pittsburgh, setting up a decider where both sides are hungry to walk away with the edge. Robbie Ray, the lefty for the Giants, steps in with a 9-5 record and a tidy 2.85 earned run average, ready to deal and keep his team in control from the first pitch. The Pirates are throwing their lefty Andrew Heaney, who rolls in at 5-9 with a 4.89 earned run average. He's been getting lit up lately, coughing up an 8.83 earned run average over his past 5 starts, and facing this Giants crew won't make his day any smoother. San Francisco's been knocking in 5.8 runs a game through their last 6, just behind Pittsburgh's 6.3 clip in the same stretch, but the arms tell a different story, with the Pirates stumbling to a 7.09 team earned run average against the Giants' sharper 3.81 over that run. Bottom line, Ray should lock down this Pirates lineup and push his squad to the win. As our first pick for this matchup, the San Francisco Giants money line is our full game side pick. Neither team's been lighting up the scoreboard with any real firepower. The Giants have scuffled at the plate on the road all year, and Pittsburgh's been even worse in these afternoon spots, struggling to cash in when it matters. The Pirates strand runners more than anyone in the league, leaving chances wasted, while San Francisco ranks low in homers and extra base knocks, keeping their output tame. Expect both lineups to come out flat and drag early, with not much pop to speak of. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Baltimore Orioles versus Philadelphia Phillies. The Baltimore Orioles are heading to Citizens Bank Park on Wednesday to take on the Philadelphia Phillies in what shapes up as a competitive matchup, with the Phillies aiming to polish off a series sweep while the Orioles look to salvage something on the road after a couple of tough outings. Philadelphia rolls in pushing for that clean sweep, building their lead in the National League East and leaning on a strong 37-20 record at home this season, where they've been tough to beat in front of their fans. The Phillies are countering with Suarez on the mound, who's given up 3, 1, 6, and 3 earned runs over his last 4 starts, mixing some solid efforts with a rough patch, but still capable of eating innings. Meanwhile, the Orioles sit at 24-36 away from home, a mark that's haunted them all year, and they've been leaky on defense lately, surrendering 23 runs across their past 3 games, which puts extra pressure on their arms to step up. Baltimore's turning to Rogers, who's been locked in with just 4 earned runs allowed over his last 5 outings, showing the kind of form that could keep them in this at plus money. I've seen him dominate stretches like this, and that tips the scales toward the Orioles pulling off the upset. As our first pick for this matchup, the Baltimore Orioles money line is our full game side pick. Suarez and Rogers have both thrown some gems this year, stifling bats and setting the stage for a game that stays under the total as they control the pace and limit damage from the lineups. Look for each to grind through 6 to 7 innings while giving up maybe 1 to 2 runs at most, turning this into the kind of tight pitchers duel that ends around 5-2 for Philly, especially with Baltimore at 60-49 to 4 to the under and Philadelphia at 57-49 to 6 on that side this season. Those patterns should hold up here. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Cleveland Guardians versus New York Mets. The Cleveland Guardians are set to face off against the New York Mets at Citi Field on Wednesday, turning what could be a straightforward interleague matchup into something worth watching as both teams jockey for position late in the season. Digging into the last 7 outings for these starters shows a small edge one way, with Gavin Williams sitting at 1-1, a 2.85 earned run average, and a 1.22 WHIP over 41 innings, while David Peterson's gone 2-2 with a 3.35 earned run average and 1.34 WHIP across 40.1 innings in that same window. Since coming back from the All-Star break, there's a clear split in how these offenses have clicked. Cleveland's been putting up 5.29 runs per game through their 17 contests, outpacing New York's 4.5 runs average over 16 games, which could give the Guardians a leg up in keeping the pressure on. Cleveland's taken the last 4 tilts against the Mets, building some real momentum in this head-to-head that might carry over here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians money line is our full game side pick. Their splits away from home and in their own park highlight how these arms can shut down bats, as Gavin Williams holds a 1-2 mark with a 4.03 earned run average on the road and a 2.41 average against over 51.1 innings in 10 starts, while David Peterson's unbeaten at 5-0 with a crisp 2 earned run average and 1.11 WHIP through 67.1 innings across 11 home outings, making him a tough matchup in Queens. The relief crews for both sides have been reliable all year too, with Cleveland ranking 7th at a 3.6 bullpen earned run average, and the Mets not far behind in 11th with a 3.81 from their relievers, which should help keep things tight once the starters hand off. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Twins versus Detroit Tigers. The Minnesota Twins and the Detroit Tigers are set to wrap up their 3-game American League Central Series on Wednesday afternoon, with the Tigers looking to keep their strong home form rolling while the Twins try to play spoiler in a matchup that highlights Detroit's surge against a reeling Minnesota squad. The Twins have stumbled to a 3-6 mark in their last 9 clashes with the Tigers, showing they just can't find a way to consistently handle this divisional foe. Detroit's been money at home as favorites, sitting at 31-17 in those spots this season, cashing in when the odds are in their favor. Minnesota's had a hard time locking down their pitching all year, and even though the starter wasn't locked in when this was written, it probably won't change much with the Tigers' bats heating up both over the long haul and lately, ready to pounce on any weaknesses. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. The Twins just shook things up with a bunch of trades, and their bullpen got hammered harder than the lineup, which sets this up for plenty of runs and an over that should cash without much sweat. Like I said, Minnesota's arms are in a bad way here. None of their top starters are towing the rubber, and they shipped out 4 relievers plus one of the game's elite closers, leaving holes that a healthy, loaded Tigers offense can exploit to rack up a big number. Detroit's dropped 3 of 4 when Flaherty's on the hill, so he could cough up enough to push the total higher and make this one sail over. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cincinnati Reds versus Chicago Cubs. In the finale of this 3-game National League Central showdown, the Cincinnati Reds are squaring off against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field on Wednesday afternoon, wrapping up a series that's been neck and neck with plenty of divisional implications as both teams push through the summer grind. These squads are deadlocked at 4-4 in their season series so far, setting up a rubber match where the starters could make all the difference. Andrew Abbott takes the hill for the Reds with a stellar 2.15 earned run average and 8-1 record, though he's battled some control issues lately, walking 8 in his past 2 outings but still limiting the damage to just 3 earned runs, showing he can navigate trouble without imploding. Facing him is a Cubs lineup that scraped together only 7 hits over their last 2 games and batted a weak .212 across the previous 6, which doesn't inspire confidence, especially since Abbott's dominated them twice this year, tossing 12.2 innings with 7 hits and 1 lone earned run allowed, making it tough to see Chicago generating much before the late innings. On the Cubs side, Cade Horton gets the nod, and he's been untouchable in his recent 3 starts, covering 17 innings with 8 hits and 0 earned runs. But that's a hot streak after rougher months. A 3.98 ERA in June and 5.47 in July hint at regression waiting to happen. I expect the Reds to capitalize, coming in hot with a 2.62 average and nearly 5 runs per game over their last 6, while both bullpens mirror each other statistically, keeping keeping things even in relief. Bottom line, Abbott against these slumping Cubs bats is a matchup I'll back every time. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cincinnati Reds money line is our full game side pick. Diving into their last 7 starts reveals both arms stepping up big. Andrew Abbott's 2-0 with a 2.68 earned run average and 1.29 WHIP over 40.1 innings, while Cade Horton's 2-2 with a 3.38 earned run average and 1.37 WHIP across 37.1 innings in that window, suggesting they can keep offenses in check. The bullpens are holding strong too, with the Reds ranking 15th league-wide at a 3.97 reliever earned run average and the Cubs 12th with a 3.85 from their pen, adding layers of shutdown potential once the starters exit. The under has cashed in 3 of the last 4 head-to-heads, pointing to another game where runs stay scarce and the total falls short. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.